Today we'll be speaking about the design of a PCB. So PCB is the green color, the motherboard in your computer as well, and all these electronics devices has these PCB boards. So the task today we're doing is that we're trying to learn how we actually built one from scratch. So there are different stages we have to follow in the manufacturing of PCB. The first step is basically selection of a microcontroller. So that's a very crucial thing. In the beginning, you need to have these specifications written and all the functionality you want from your PCB. This functionality includes input and output ports. So first of all, the selection of microcontroller and how you select a microcontroller is the specification. You need to know your project specifications, what exactly you want, and all functionality needs to be like input and output ports. So that will tell you how many pins you want. This is the most crucial and the important part in the design of any PCB project. So how many pins you need. So this will help you how many input, how many output pins. So once you're done with selecting a microcontroller, I suggest with the Texas Instrument, and there's a few other websites which they built the microcontrollers. So once you're done with the next part is the circuit design. The best software I'll recommend to use is Altium. So Altium has everything in it. So from scratch, you have a footprints. You also got the drawing. You can have your layout, and then you can export that layout to the PCB board, and then you can have your routing done there, and then you can release it to the manufacturer. So once you're done with that, you release it to your manufacturer and find a good and cheap manufacturer depending on your requirement. So that's the third step. So you got to make sure the manufacturer is cost effective. So cost and timing. So these are two things you need to look into while selecting a manufacturer. The next part is the purchasing the circuit components. So at the same time while it's being manufactured, you need to look for all the components you need to put in your circuit board. And once it's there, you need to assemble it. Assembly, you need to solder all these individual components. So that's basically the fourth process. So third process is parallel releasing the manufacturing and purchasing the circuit components. The fourth process is the circuit assembly. It involves the soldering techniques. I recommend while you're waiting for your device to be manufactured, you practice some, improve your soldering skills. And then the last but not the least, you do some programming done and test it. So that's the fifth step and the final step. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for listening.